Sell your bike for the most money. How to sell your bike for the most money. This is a tutorial on just everything basically I recommend doing on how to list your road bike, mountain bike, gravel bike. Ironically, I just did a video about gravel bikes. Or whatever bike you have, just to get the most money and to make your listing look the best. So let's get started. First off, a couple things I really recommend. So this is a bike wash. Bontrager makes this bike wash. It's really nice. It's fancy. It smells like cherries. But honestly, you can use car wash too. I was actually going to use like the Meguiar's like $15, car wash you get on Amazon. I was going to use that, but the reason I'm not going to use it right now is I want to get this thing listed. And this is a disc brake bike. So the thing is, you have to be really careful about washing disc brake, mountain bike, gravel bike, road bike. And part of the reason for that is you can get contamination. Then your brake squeals. So if your customer shows up and goes for a test ride and gets that squealing brake, it's not so good. That's not good. That's not a good look. So you want to make sure you're doing it nice and easy. Like, nice thing about a spray bottle, or you could take whatever your wash is and put it in a spray bottle, is this. Basically, you just spray it down right where you want to. And then I don't have these. These weren't in the budget, unfortunately. But some people actually get disc brake covers. It's cool. It's kind of like you have planes with the jet engines and you put the covers in there so the squirrels don't make a nest in there. But yeah, you have covers basically. You put them over the disc brakes so you can just spray everything down. Or what you can do is you can also take your wheels off, which I'm probably going to do anyhow. But just to show you what the bike, like before and after shot, this is the bike, this is how the bike looks, and we're gonna fix it. This is arguably the most important part of this whole operation. So, chain lube. If you ever sell a bike for hire, one thing you may run into is the bike looks like hell. My friend hired me to sell this bike for him, and it's been sitting in the basement being a nest for some spiders past God knows how long. Yeah, that's nasty. Alright, we have pulley wheels. These things get disgusting. For listing, like I said, this doesn't have to look like it's coming off the factory line in like China or Cambodia or Taiwan or wherever the hell these things are made these days, but yeah, you gotta just get a little bit of it out, and then we'll lube up the chain too. We'll get everything going. Just like the big gunks you want to get out. And I use paper towel for this just so it's not like impossible to clean off your rags after. It makes things a little bit easier. Some people spray this, but I'm just gonna wipe it down for now. So an important thing is you need to lube up the chain. It could just be gross or, oh my god. Funny story. I had a friend working with a bike customer. He's like, yeah, you don't want to get dry rot in your chain. And this guy happened to work in like the automotive industry or be some kind of like mechanic or technician for vehicles, and I'm like, dude, why did you say that? Why did you say that? But yeah, that's my inside joke. You don't want to get dry rot in your chain, so you lube up your chain and get it nice and new looking. You could put degreaser on, but in this case it doesn't look so bad. I think we're gonna have to do that, so we're just gonna put a little bit of lubricant on there. It's a good balance because you don't want to waste all of your material. You want to get the bike presentable looking, pretty decent looking. It doesn't need to look mint, factory condition, brand new. I mean, unless your bike's only a few months old, of course, and you're trying to kind of give someone a bit of a deal, like it's kind of like a new bike, but it's not really. So we're just gonna brush this thing up. So we got our squirt lube, we have paper towels, we have some rags to wipe down with the bike wash. This is kind of done professionally by a blonde in their backyard, so take that with a grain of what's that salt they have at Trader Joe's, the really good stuff, like the pink salt. Yeah, take it with a grain of that. Isopropyl alcohol is important because it's basically a 70% alcohol. You can probably just find this around your house, but you wipe down your disc brake rotors with it. It prevents contamination. I'd say it's good to do every now and then, especially if the bike hasn't been clean in a whole long time. I'd definitely recommend doing that. We're gonna put a little bit of that on. And then I brought just my tools. Brought my T-wrenches here, a box of them, so they look all fancy. Snap-on wrenches. And a pump, because these tires are very flat. So this is everything that I'm going to use to clean this bike to start out with. There are obviously more tools you can get if you want to go in depth. You can get between the cogs of the cassette. You can do all that. But basically, you want to get your bike as clean and presentable looking as well, and obviously functional. You want your customer to be happy, for sure. But you want to do all that, and then hopefully your bike will look. There we go. That's better. That's more like it. This bike, size 52. Trek Checkpoint ALR4. Beautiful bike. Clean it up. Looks even more beautiful. It's not a spider nest anymore. I mean, what are we in Australia? But yeah, beautiful bike. Size 52. If you guys actually want this bike and you're in like the New England area, please leave a comment below and we'll definitely work something out. But what I would do at this point, after just making sure the tires are pumped up, making sure the bike is good, I took it for a test ride. You can see here is a pretty good test ride. Oh, hey there. I'd say the bike rides, or I can't tell how it rides, grass. Of course, it doesn't ride nice on the grass comfortably, but feels nice, feels comfortable. 52, a little bit too small for me, but with the seat up, you know, it's not too bad. Some people my height probably race on a 52. Little crazies out there. At that point, you want to list it on Marketplace, and what you want to do is you want to just put all the essential information. You want to put size 52, year, color, condition, all that sort of stuff. Just stuff that people don't have to ask you, because then everybody's like having doubts. So you don't want that. So once you get your cool shots like these, like look, we got angles here, we got angles on angles. You know, this is what people want to see. The problem is, you know, if you take a picture of your bike in the dark and it's in a closet somewhere, and you're like, damn, is there like a dead body next to that thing? Like, no, I'm not buying that. So you want to just make sure everything looks good. Like this, outside, good angle, sunlight, nature. I thought about putting in a bike stand. I've put bikes in bike stands, selling them before. Really big thing. If you're selling a carbon fiber bicycle, like definitely not. Like clamping on the carbon fiber, like that just sends a red flag to your buyers right away. People don't want to see that stuff. I recommend just leaning in against something, just making the bike look nice, well taken care of. Just essential information, Shimano Tiagra, size, maybe weight of the bicycle, year, good angles, essential information. And when I say only essential information, I mean when somebody comes over, maybe they're a new cyclist, they're asking questions, don't like go on a tangent and be like, oh yeah, this bike has 10 speed Shimano Tiagra, yeah, hydraulic disc brake. Like, some people don't even know what the hell that means. It might just be a new rider looking for a good bike. So in that case, you just want to do feature, benefit. You're like, oh yeah, Chad, you're like going through the woods on this bike, or you're going on gravel roads with this bike. But you know what? Hydraulic disc brakes are going to give you a lot of control. See? Feature benefits that rider. Don't just spout off at the person when they come over. They might be like, yo, this person's a know-it-all, and leave. You don't want that. You want have a happy customer, leave with their bike. After it's listed properly, cleaned properly, you did all that work, you don't want it to be for nothing. Here's something a lot of people may ask about. You got this little line here. You see it kind of goes right down, all the way down here. Now, this is a little bit of paint protection film applied to most bikes from the factory just to make sure there's no damage to the actual chainstay. Now, part of the downside of these, and which, you know, some people have actually told me, because I actually cover my whole bikes with this sort of stuff, is you can get lines where there's UV somewhere and there's UV not places. But part of the reason I'm going to opt to leave this on right now is because if somebody picks up the bike, it's part of the selling point. You know, they can choose to have it or they can choose not to have it, but it's still protecting the paintwork, which is good, which most people actually want. So I would leave that on. If you see stickers on the bike that make it look pretty new, that's cool, but I mean, stuff like this, just like sun bleach, you can tear that off. If they ask you everything, just have them fire off questions. Because something that people do as salespeople, they like talk too much, and then the buyer might have doubt. They come over, just have them take a test ride, make sure everything's good, make sure they like it. You meet up at a public place, make sure to test ride it, everything's good, they like it, then you're good. And then you just have them go off, just be like, yep, message me if you need anything, make sure everything's good. I always say that, and I've never had anybody message me back. Because you just make sure the bike's good. You're putting your name to that, so you want to make sure you're selling a quality bike that is really good and your buyer has confidence in. So I would say that's really the essential information, at least that I can think of off the top of my head, for selling your bike, cleaning it, tuning it, just making sure everything looks good, taking good photos, being respectful with your customers, offering essential information, leave out the redundant stuff, don't make them have doubts, and then you should be good. So, again, let me know, New England area, South 52, leave in the comments below if you want this bike. Again, hired to sell it for a friend, I believe it's like 2019, 2020. Just let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day.